Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Revolting review. I am Random Ross and today I review Evil Dead Rise. So, this is written and directed by Lee Cronin, starring Lily Sullivan, Alisa Sutherland, Morgan Davis, Gabriella Eccles, and Neil Fisher. So, you probably know by now this is the fifth, at least the fifth installment movie-wise, in the Evil Dead franchise, where it's a supernatural horror, and like I said, it's a fifth film in the Evil Dead series. And it says here on the wiki page, the film it was planned to be a direct sequel to the 2013 Evil Dead. For all we know, it could be. So, in this one, we decide. In this one, for the first time, we actually go out of the woods since since the third movie, Army of Darkness. We go out of the woodlands and into an apartment building in Los Angeles, where a single mother and her three daughters live, where her sister comes over and stays for the night, and one of the kids during a mild earthquake finds this hidden room underneath their apartment building and finds the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon, or a copy of it, and basically does the dumbass thing of what they seem to do in every film. They manage to get it like read out or something, recordings and that, and unleash hell, and the mother, from what we see in the trailer, gets possessed by a deadite, and it's all guts, gore and hell and screaming from there. So that's the essential story there. I won't give too much away. So what did I like about this one? Well, I liked that this was an Evil Dead film, that the Evil Dead franchise is still not dead, and that it had hints of the original in there with the remake, with Easter eggs, including one Easter egg with the pizza boxes when it says, does it say Philippa? I can't remember, but I know I wouldn't have known about that if I hadn't watched Sweet and Spooky's review on it, because she mentions that there is an Easter egg in there, including another Easter egg to another horror, The Shining, which I'll leave for you to find out in there. And we get again a chainsaw wielding scene as well, because it's not an Evil Dead movie without a good chainsaw, at least since the second movie. And of course, I like the gore and the guts and the horror and the kills and the possessions, and how the Deadites were just having the time of their lives being evil and dead. And I also thought the performances were good and the acting was good as well, and especially a young kid actor who was playing the youngest daughter. She too was a very gifted young actress for her age, and she was good in this too. Of course, it does have a good opening scene, and during the opening scene we then go back one day before, and I'm thinking, okay, how's this fall into it? But in the end it all makes sense. It all kind of, right. And then I had a bit of a plot hole, well, thinking, how does she not hear all that hell going off upstairs? But yeah, but I do have my negatives about this film. So obviously I know how predictable it was going to be with the plot, with them obviously finding the book, getting it open and reading it and summoning the Deadites. I knew that was going to happen from a mile off, and I knew what was coming pretty much then, that it was going to be a brutal fight to the survival, whoever the remaining final person was. And also, I didn't get like them Bruce Campbell vibes. I mean, I get it that Bruce Campbell said, after Ash vs Evil Dead season 3, he was done with the character, retired, and maybe there was a cameo in there from him. I might have missed it, but yeah, there is no after credit scene like in the last film where we get a little Bruce Campbell cameo of him saying groovy before looking at the camera. Yeah, but still, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have involvement as executive producers for this one, and of course they were the two that brought the franchise to life, and that's how it is. But yeah, all in all, it's a good film, a good 90 minutes, a good switch your brain off film. I enjoyed watching that, and it was a good hour and a half. It got straight to the point. It didn't waste any time before we got to see some guts and gore and horror. And, yeah, jump scares though, there weren't a lot of them, or maybe there were, I don't know. I'm so desensitized to this, but there were a few little bits that did make me squirm, including a bit with an eye and a tattoo gun, and and then there was a bit in the finale where I feel it was like John Carpenter's The Thing vibes from what we saw with the Deadites in it. But yeah, like I say, this was a gore fest. They use gallons of blood for this, or at least, well, they didn't use as much gallons as they did in the last movie, because the last film, Evil Dead 2013, got a Guinness Book of Record for like the most gallons of blood used in a horror film since like one of the Saw movies. But is Evil Dead Rise a good one? Yeah, if you love the franchise and yeah, check it out. It's okay. It's not by far the best Evil Dead film, but it is still a good film. This was, I believe, originally meant to go on HBO Max in America, but they thought, let's give it a theatrical release, and I'm glad they did, because we all got to see it around the same time, even in the UK, because we don't have HBO over here. So, final thoughts and ratings. Evil Dead Rise. What am I going to rate it? Well, my ratings, my final thoughts, it was entertaining. So, ratings, I think I'll give it 3 stabs out of 5. 3 stabs out of 5 for Evil Dead Rise. So there you go. There is my review on that one. So have you seen it? Let me know down in the comments below if you have. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, don't have nightmares.